Thanks for joining me. Today, let's make a quick, easy granola recipe. This is from Alton Brown. It starts off with rolled oats, also called old-fashioned oats. So you need 3 cups. The next thing you're going to need are 2 cups of nuts. So we have a variety to choose from here. I've got some unsalted cashews, some walnuts, and some pecans. So whatever nuts you have at home will work, just you need 2 cups volume of them. Get in there, you. I like pecans, so we're going heavy on the pecans. Cashews. Pecans and cashews are also a bit more expensive than the walnuts, so I'm going to use those to fill 1 cup and the walnuts to fill the other. I challenge you to find any store-bought granola that has this many nuts in it. The next ingredient is shredded coconut, shredded dried coconut. It does call for sweetened, and that is the easier kind to find, so you're in luck. And we need 3/4 of a cup, and I'm gonna eyeball this. We don't have to be that precise. I like it. And the last thing to go in this dry bowl is going to be brown sugar. For the brown sugar, you're going to need 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. So this is an awkward little bag to get into. Woo. This is bien duro too. You have to push down the sugar into the measuring cup, so when it dumps out, it's like wet sand and it all stays together. All right, now for the 2 tablespoons. Same thing with the tablespoons, they need to be compacted like wet sand. Great. So I'm going to just mix this up real quick with my hands and make sure I break up the bigger pieces of coconut and brown sugar. Feeling pretty good about this. Let's do the wet ingredients now. So I've got another bowl, set this one to the side. And for the wet, we're going to start with 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to use olive oil for this. The reason I did the oil first is I'm going to do maple syrup next. And if you have oil in your measuring cup, it doesn't stick as much. I already have this darling little container of maple syrup that I was gifted. We're going to start using that, and if we run out, I have the larger container that I get from the grocery store that I typically will use. I don't care what grade maple syrup, they all taste sweet and delicious to me, so it's all good. So 1/4 cup and 2 tablespoons, just like the brown sugar. 1 and 2 tablespoons. See if we have enough, I don't know. We do. All right, the last thing is 3/4 teaspoon salt. I did use unsalted nuts for everything, and this is a low salt household, but I am gonna put in that 3/4 teaspoon because it's gonna need something to balance out all the sweet. Oh, got some extra maple syrup that pooled in that measuring spoon. All right, so where's my 1/4 teaspoon? 3/4 of salt. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm going to need to kind of whisk this up with a fork. If you want to use a real whisk, that's fine too. All right, this is going to get poured on top of your dry mixture, and then you're going to want a spatula in your life. You don't want to get your hand in here and soak up all that oil and sugar on your hand. I've got a spatula here, and mix this all together. This already tastes and looks delicious, so if you take a little sample, you won't be the first person to do so, probably won't be the last. Now I'm going to get 2 baking sheets. You're going to divide this mixture, this bowl of stuff, onto 2 ungreased baking sheets. Try to make it equal portions, but nobody's checking if they're not. I don't like wasting any, so I'm gonna scrape out what's left in the bowl. And then spread it around. You want a thin layer. If you see any big chunks of sugar, now's your last opportunity to break those up. And I think this is not quite even. Get some over here. There's a big chunk of sugar. If you miss some of these big chunks, it's no big deal. You're just gonna have an extra sugary bite. Next thing you're gonna do is put these in the oven. Make sure your baking racks are on a similar level. And in these go. You're gonna put it at 250. All right, so I now have an hour and 15 minutes for this to cook. I need to come stir this every 15 minutes. So I'll see you in 15 minutes. We've reached the first 15 minutes. It is time to stir. Uh-oh, some jumped over the side. I must save this. We're on stir timer number 2. Let's see if we need to switch. Ooh, my glasses fogged up. I keep going over the edge on that side. Switch these. This is my commission right here. Stir number 3. Just trying to keep from tossing stuff off the side this time. Stir timer 4. been at least an hour and a half. I turned off the oven in an hour and 15 minutes and opened it up a bit so it could vent. The pans have cooled off. Now we're going to get our granola. And still a little warm. I did take off the oven a little while ago. I'm going to scrape all the granola off the pans. We're going to try to fit it all in here and then weigh it and see how much granola we have. Let's see how much granola we ended up making. £1 pound, 13 ounces of granola. Not bad. About $10 at the store for that, and it wouldn't have all these yummy nuts.